Hail and well met, humble friends. Hi, welcome to Humblewood Younderbound, game run here on Sword and Key. I'm Derek Sword. I am your GM for this game. I use him pronouns, and I'm joined as always by these very lovely folks. And fortunately, I will say fortunately, Queon is taking care of himself today. So massive props because it is hard to step away from things that you feel like you have commitments to. But hey, also nothing feels better than canceling plans. So Queon, hope you're taking care of yourself. Feel better. We will see you next week. In the meantime, we are going to make sure that Soren stays incredibly safe. So yeah, let's see. I don't know why I'm hearing double of myself either. That's also a question.
Is our lovely tech Eva unmuted?
No.
Hey, Eva, you want to mute yourself real quick? I think she's maybe fixed it. Okay. Okay, there we go. Producers, am I right? No, seriously, I need them. I can't do it myself. Where was I? So Humblewood, Younderbound. So before I have these lovely people introduce themselves, I do want to say a couple of things at the top. First of all, this game, because these people are so amazing, is in support of Fauna and Flora International. Fauna and Flora International is a wonderful organization that works around the world to preserve, protect, and also integrate humans into the ecology and environments of wild animals. So as human society tends to expand and encroach, we tend to kind of forget that animals were there first. So Fauna and Flora International works to protect the animals that were there, preserve the ecosystems and biomes that humans are now becoming a part of, and work to create a sort of symbiosis and harmony between the two. They have most recently been working in Romania to protect bears from a culling. They're working with penguins all throughout where penguins live, which is surprisingly not just Antarctica. There's also Australia and South America and even Southern Africa. They're working pretty much everywhere. They're working in the Great Barrier Reef as well to try to prevent bleaching there. So if you are willing and able, both those things important together, to donate to this wonderful cause, you can help protect some critters all around the globe. And also, you can impact this game. You can give crits advantages, complications, all sorts of fun stuff to make this game a little more interesting. All that said, this is a Sword and Key game. You can find all of Sword and Key stuff, including the links for donating to Fauna and Flora International, on beacons.ai/Sword and Key. You can find all our socials there. You can join our Discord if you would like to chat with cool folks about this game or just other cool stuff. Yeah, that's all I will say for now. So let's go ahead and go around, have these lovely people say a little bit about themselves and their characters. Then we'll do a recap and jump into it. So, Shadow, if you don't mind starting something.
Hi, yes, I'm Shadow. And today, and hopefully for future Sundays, I will be playing Clarence, who is your College of the Undead Road Bardlock. We locked in that title last week. It was great.
College of the Undead Road Bardlock?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're the College of the Road Bard, but then also the Undead Warlock.
Yeah, Clarence is just like playing metal music now on a lute.
Yeah, I'm a spectral musician now. What else are we doing here?
It's an electric lute, like just carrying a speaker around everywhere.
Yeah.
Awesome. Love that. I'm so worried for Clarence, having been the person I feel somewhat culpable for this, but also Shadow was totally into it. So don't blame me for whatever happens next. Next up, Liz.
Oh, gonna keep that in the back pocket. Don't blame me for whatever happens next. Got it. Hi friends, I'm Liz. I will be today, and hopefully for the remainder of this season at least, Betty, who is a Herald of the Storm Barbarian. So, first time barbarian. We're very excited.
First time barbarians going pretty well for Betty so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sad that you can't see my shirt. It says Lethal Weapon. It felt appropriate.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was my mom's shirt. It's like wicked vintage.
Wicked vintage.
Wicked vintage.
Not from Maine or nothing.
No.
All right. Next up would typically be Queon, but next up is Anniek.
I was gonna drive Queon in chat. Hi, my name is Anniek. I get to play Mochi, who's nothing but an adorable little Maypac trickery cleric who has never done anything wrong in her entire life, and is definitely not heading for a cult leader, high priestess position ship thing. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we it seems like Mochi's suddenly become one of the lesser problems to worry about with her cult building and everything.
Absolutely, don't worry about Mochi. She is definitely not planning a takeover in the background. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, bigger.
Just look away. Look over there, a bigger problem.
That almost feels like the Humblewood motto. And last but absolutely not least, Christian.
Hello. Hi, my name is Christian, aka Fluffy Goomba, all over the internets. I'm a performer, educator, and event coordinator here in the space, and I will be playing Argus Ironclaw, Swiftstrig, Scofflaw Fighter. It's a lot of S's. And they are the king of the Crest Mountains, and I'm excited to see what we get to tonight. Oh, tonight, Jesus. Today. There's the time of day. I'm still kind of waking up.
you can say tonight. It's 7:15 where I live.
Fair enough. Haha. Technically, I'm correct. It's tonight somewhere.
Technically correct's the best kind of correct.
Yep.
Fantastic. Thank you all to this wonderful cast, waking up or going to bed, however they tend to be in this wonderful world of time zones. Shadow, I believe you took the recap for this week. Thank you for doing that.
I do. Can I?
You did.
Are you
The floor is
done?
yours.
Are you? Well, I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, I'm gonna
sounded
stop
like you were
talking
gonna-
as
okay.
of
Mm, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna set it up the scene here. As the camera pans over to Clarence sitting on a little rock on the shoreline. And you see Soren's staff resting on another rock. And then you just hear Clarence go, "Well, Soren talks to you, so I guess I could talk to you too, Mr. Staff. Or Mrs. Staff. You know, you're just a great staff. Okay, we'll just leave it there. So, I thought it was really interesting that last time, there was all this rain and this big storm rolled in, so we couldn't leave port. So then we went over to the tavern, and Mochi mended Argus's armor, and then everyone was having like a really good time. So I just left them to have a really good time, and I had a good conversation with Cal. We learned a couple of things, and then I did what bards do best, and I went on stage and I performed, and I got a lot of gold. Everyone really liked all the sea shanties that Cal taught me, so that was really nice. And then we went to Betty's house and we met Betty's family, and they're pretty cool too. They're a lot like Mochi's family. I will say that. Yeah. So then we learned. So then the next day we tried to talk to the captain that was hired to take us places, but they refused to take us places because it's wakeworm breeding season, and apparently that makes it's pretty hard to pilot the ships around. So that captain had no sense of adventure and would not take us. So then we got a refund of all of our money. And then we went to the Tideswell to find this other captain who definitely is up for adventure and willing to take us where we need to go. And so then we met them. And now we're here. And now we're about to go kick some butt in the the tide swell with the pirates, so that Argus can get stuff and we can ransom it for Killer Queen. It'll be great. Thanks for listening to me, staff. You're a pretty good listener.
Wonderfully done. That was wonderful framing of that. Please enjoy your inspiration. What an inspiration for that. Okay, so you all have book passage. You have found a captain brave or mad enough to sail you south in the Tangle Wilds to the Tangle Wilds in the midst of wakeworm breeding season. With storms above and massive monsters below. But your time at the sea has not yet come, as you all have decided to go to Tideswell Cave and get some information from some of the brigands within, and maybe also send a message of your own about being rude to friends of yours. So, along with your newfound captain, you all have rowed back to shore and find yourselves on the sandy, rocky shoals just outside of this yawning cave in the cliff side of essentially the continent of Humblewood. Just far enough away from Salter's Port that should any ships sail around here, no one really notice. You're even out of view of the main lighthouse of Salter's Port. It's kind of like, oh, if ships were, maybe they're just passing through. There's other ports to go to. Maybe they're going to one of those. So this is where you find yourselves. You have your Sita captain, meaning he is like a red parrot who is rather flouncy as far as you've been able to tell, as well as his mustelid, his larger Wolverine-like first mate, who doesn't seem to be much for words. How would you all like to proceed?
What was the first mate's name again?
Thank you.
The first mate. Where did I put that? Stand by. My notes are chaotic from last time.
Same.
Yeah. I want to say it's Ripper, so let me see if I can find that.
Control F, Ripper.
Control F, Ripper. I'm like very confident that the first mate is Ripper. And there's one of one. Can you show me my one of one, please? There he is. Okay. Yes, Captain Atlas Fairweather, who is a Sita Luma, and Ripper, who is a Mustel captain and first mate of the Bedlam Rose.
Ripper.
Yeah.
So, do you have any suggestions on the best course of action? You're familiar with the territory.
Yeah, could just no, not we do this, I suppose. There's diplomacy. There's persuasion. There's goddamn step. Oh, do a real bit to you. Live your best life.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes. I should put that on a sweater. Honestly, that's very good advice. Thank you. Thank you, Ripper. You're so insightful.
Great.
Have you thought about branching into a new enterprise here? You're great at first mating, but what if you also opened up like a design shop? You could make traveler cloaks that have sayings like live your best life.
Or like be a life coach.
That's it right there.
Ripper's really thought about when the anchor gonna catch him, when he's gonna find the place where he's gonna end up. And maybe we'll be trademarking and copywriting certain phrases and sayings he's picked up in life.
Yeah.
But until then, Ripper's just part of the wide ocean, just real man of the tide and wind.
Aren't we all just part of the wide ocean?
I don't think so.
Oh. Oh.
When you
No,
say that,
some
Mochi looks
people-
at Soren, who's made of sand.
Mm-hmm. So some folk may be saying some both tree folk.
Fair enough.
Anywho.
So, Betty, any suggestions?
Well, I think we got what we needed in town, right? Everybody's all geared up. We don't have a need for anything. Did we... Wait.
We're
I
gonna
think
go
your
punch
family
pirates.
set
I was
you
Right?
gonna
up with
say,
some-
she like does a double take after kind of like pausing and thinking about it and looks over at Argus and says, "Aren't we here for you?"
Argus is literally strapping up to leave the ship. While everyone's on the side, Argus is like literally like putting armor on properly and like swinging his hammer.
It'll
Few
loosen up
times.
those muscles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doing some stretches.
yeah.
Once it's advanced with spell casting, you can't pull a muscle.
Hey, can't get a paper cut.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Ah,
Or hand
spontaneous
cramps.
casting.
Mm,
Finger cramps.
yeah. Finger cramps. You can
Finger
like,
cramps.
jaw cramp. I don't know what
Sure.
what you can
You
get.
can bite your tongue at the wrong
Bite
time.
your tongue. That is
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the thing. Yeah.
Still, I think biting the tongue is less bad than biting a slime.
Mm.
Those things are caustic. So
It's
we're
fine.
gonna go. We're gonna go kidnap a pirate, or we're gonna go steal their money. I'm a little
Well-
like I'm down for whatever, but I'm a little unsure on what we're gonna do at that cove.
Well, I don't know exactly what's there. But
Okay.
when I find out, that's when I'll have a plan.
Okay.
Because we don't really know what's inside the cove.
Are we sneaking to the cove, or are we charging to the cove?
Well, I don't really know the area, so sneaking could be the best option. But if
But
things fall
they-
apart, I'm fine with fully going at it.
They invited you, right? Like,
No, that-
like
that cove.
invited, right?
Wait, is this the same place, or is this a different
No,
place?
we're
Good.
Clarence's idea was to get leverage before we go to the place.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, I see. I see. I
'Cause
misunderstood.
The place was Halara, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is just a
Oh,
cove
yes.
nearby with the same crew. And Clarence thought it might be a good idea to take all their money and or people, so we have leverage when we go to Halara.
Yes, Halara is the capital of the Luzos Empire. That's where all the cat people live, the Allurans. That's your ultimate goal in the Tangle Wilds, is to reach that and then traverse inland from there, because that's their major port.
What's the pirate capital called? I can't remember.
The pirate captains are off on it's a set of islands off the coast.
Nice archipelago.
And that's where the pirate king supposedly is holding up. You know, he has like a kingdom of islands out there.
Mhm.
Bear with me for 1 second.
Draw Life
But
Islands.
But Balthazar's waiting for us in Halara, right?
No.
According
he
to the
has
letter.
not indicated exactly where he is. He has indicated that he wants Argus to transport your MacGuffin. Your Jesus
Orb.
Christ.
Borealis.
Yes, your Borealis. I'm sorry, I'm doing three things.
Yeah.
To Halara, where he wants you to bring it to him. So it sounds like Argus maybe wants to like split the difference a little bit and meet them head on. But yes, you were supposed to you've gotten a little bit of information now that you're in Salter's Port. Kind of seems like there's one more piece of information you're supposed to get.
Mhm.
But I need to type in Everton because it's giving me some stuff. There we go. The Gasparian Isles are the pirate isles that are in like the center of the Song Sea. They'd be like set in the center of like our Atlantic Ocean.
Mhm.
So you're kind of going to essentially sail between them, between the continent that Humblewood and Esden and Tangle Wilds are on, and between the Gasparian Isles to the east to get south to the Tangle Wilds. Or alternatively, if you wanted to be, super fancy about it, you could sail north up and around through the Crystal Wastes and maybe avoid, you would avoid some dangers and perhaps encounter others, is the thing with that.
Yeah.
But that would be like sailing through what would be the Northwest Passage for us.
Gotcha.
But yes, where you are right now, Tideswell Cave is something that you guys wouldn't necessarily know this, but Clarence got the information from her Lich buddy, because this is where he would smuggle his things through. If there wasn't anything he wanted to come through a legitimate port, he would bring it through Tideswell Cave, where the local pirates kind of hang out. So there's the local brigands, and the thought is, if there's a pirate king and pirates here, somebody's got to know something between the two.
Yeah.
If you want to, Argus, we can also just sail for the Pirate Isles and see how we do there, but...
That's fair.
Dude,
We can
this-
split the difference.
Yeah, it's your mission. We're...
Well, I want to check up on this information that Clarence has from
Okay.
their travels, and if there's something there that I can use against Balthazar, then I'm going to grab it and take it.
Okay, so sneak towards the cave, car?
Yeah. Sneak into the thing, and then
Yeah.
we convince some pirates to be on our side. Then they become reformed pirates, just like the reformed bandits.
Oh, if we get close-ish, I can use the eye again like I did when we scouted the bandit camp.
Memories. It helped last time, so
Yeah.
let's hope we can do it again.
Great. Betty, are you good at sneaking?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm convinced.
Confidence is everything.
Yes.
It's half the battle right there.
Exactly.
All right.
Well, Clarence,
so
you kind of know the way
Yeah.
from your
Sure.
travels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you and Betty are the ones that brought us here last time.
I only went surfing. I didn't do any smuggling.
All right, Betty, let's find the best way into this place.
I was gonna say, I wonder if Betty would have actually come here to she doesn't care who she's selling her fish to, so like maybe she would actually be able to just like walk in.
Yeah. I mean, I think we established that this is a poorly kept secret as far as things go. Like, the Coast Guard probably could. I mean, it might be a little strain on them with the amount of brigands that Betty knows are in this place, because like this is a wide enough cave that like ships dock in here as well, which also prevents any questions of like, well, where do the pirate ships go? So this is also like a secretive port for the humble folk as well. But yeah, you've lived here long enough that like everybody's like, yeah, just don't let the kids go past the big rocks. Like they put the little signs up like here no further on purpose to to keep the kids out, but it only makes them more curious about it. So yeah, Betty, you would have the confidence to walk right in if you wanted to, but also you would know, just no history check involved, this is a place of boardwalks more than anything else. Like there's kind of rocky floor to it, where it's a cave. It's kind of built up through all of the stalactite, stalagmite precipitation up and down. So there's like layers to the rock. It can be a little slick. So there are 2 stories of boardwalks above that. There's a series of boardwalks where there's like a bar and like hangout area. There's the 3rd floor where you can actually like sleep and kind of like a tavern. You can pay for a stay there for pirates who may be in port. There's always plenty of gambling. There's always like music playing, probably a few fights going on, and a lot of sketchy business being handled. The sketchy business typically takes place on the 3rd floor or in the corners of the 2nd floor. Otherwise, the 2nd floor is the liveliest. And then the ships sail straight in, where it kind of opens up to almost an unintentional like circular port where the ships can kind of all pull in and dock side by side without bumping into one another,
Mhm.
but it is a one way in, one way out kind of thing.
Okay. And would it be like common knowledge that like if you don't make trouble, that people aren't gonna toss you out? Like, obviously our captain is well known, he's kind of a flashy guy,
Mhm.
but like if the 5 of us just walk in,
Yeah, if everyone here makes trouble, just don't make trouble that pisses off anybody else.
got it. Okay. Yeah, so I think in that case Betty would just be like, I don't really think we have to sneak in. I don't think anybody is looking for us. I don't think anybody's expecting us, really. So maybe let's like just not give them a reason to be looking for us. We should be okay.
Spoken like someone who hasn't seen Anarchists get real angry.
Okay, I mean, I'm not.
But we can try. We can try. Argus can always start fighting later, right?
There's exactly
Argus?
there's a big difference between starting a fight the second we see the first guard and starting a fight on our way out.
That's true. That's true. Okay.
I'm willing to fight my way out, but I think
Not the
getting
way
in is the
Okay.
important part.
Do we
Are
Are
need
you
a
an employee?
disguise?
Do you work here? I'd like to speak to your manager, please.
Yes.
Oh god, I just pictured molten Argus with like the Karen haircut because half of his feathers have fallen out after eternal winter.
Yeah, please don't Karen the pirate bar, I beg you.
Oh no.
That is literally what we just planned to do. It's gonna be great.
I'm aware.
It's good. It's fine.
Okay.
So Betty, do we need a disguise?
If you want to come back here as yourself at some non-specific point in the future,
So yes, disguise time.
go for it.
Okay, Betty, how many people normally sell fish with you?
Oh my gosh. How many like how many taverns are here? Just one in the Pirate Cove, Derek?
Yeah, one is enough to kind of
Okay.
service the clientele.
Yeah, so I sell fish to the tavern, to the chef who works there.
Okay. Ripper, what is your biggest fish that you currently have available?
Oh, I guess a tarpon.
Okay, you have one that's like available right now.
Yeah, it tastes terrible, but yeah, tarpon are everywhere.
Okay. Can
But
you
it is a pretty big fish.
please hand it to Argus?
Ripper just kind of like looks around, picks up opens a chest with just this massive fish in it, like almost as big as he is, and just like kind of slaps it over Argus's shoulder. We ain't got an ice box, and that one's a couple days old, so I'm sorry for the sliminess.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. Do you have tiny buckets of fish?
We got chum.
Is that
Them
fish?
tiny buckets of fish. Yeah, it's fish and other things.
Betty, would you sell chum? Is that
No.
oh
Can we just like wait 10 minutes and let Betty catch good fish? Because that is entirely what she does. Is what she's amazing at.
oh that's fair. Yeah. Could you catch us like a tiny bucket of fish?
Yeah, can I toss out a net? I guess. Take my little boat out and toss a net.
But do you have fisherman's tools as proficiency or anything?
I didn't realize that was an option.
They're one of those things. If you don't already, please. It makes sense for you to have them.
Sure, yeah.
Are you proficient in survival?
No, why would I be?
Okay. So what we're gonna do then is you'll roll survival with proficiency then, because you are proficient with the tools that you are using for this survival check.
I believe in you. Please take guidance.
Oh, yeah, sure. What is
A
What is
D4.
D4.
Thank you. Don't mind me and all the dice sounds.
We have
Yeah,
enough
sounds
time.
like
Can
people
Mochi at least like wash the slime off of that thing that's on Argus?
Yeah, just prestidigitation the fish, make it look better.
Like
It's-
she likes gross food, but there's limits.
It's a 10.
Okay. I mean, 10 is perfectly average, right? So it's not like you are catching, later second act Forrest Gump levels of shrimp and
Sure.
boat, but like you are catching a decent amount of fish for your proficiency, for your ability, which means you can probably fill like a bucket.
Yeah.
I think that's
Okay.
reasonable. Yeah, especially with the net.
Yeah, so maybe we take 2 buckets and fill them up like halfway with sand and then put the fish on the top so it looks like we have multiple buckets.
Mm.
Okay. And then Clarence picks up a bucket. Okay, I'm ready to deliver fish.
All right, so we've got our fish, we've got our big slimy fish. I've got my
No, we
nets.
de-slimified the
Oh,
fish.
we de-slimified the fish, okay. Um
It's not way too dry.
Like they're gonna eat it. Hang on, my lights decided to turn itself off.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, we'll give it a shot. Worst case scenario, somebody stops us and asks us what's going on. So
Yeah, and then we tell them we're selling fish.
that's right.
Yeah. Okay.
So am I coming with you, or
Absolutely not.
all right? Love that.
Just immediately. With the quickness.
But you are waiting here for us for when we get back with whatever it is that we're coming back with, so we can go.
Indeed.
Yes, aye.
Yes.
We'll do. We'll wait for each and every one of you.
Does he have an eye patch?
Your captain does not have an eye patch.
Okay. All right.
I feel
Or at least not one that he's currently sporting.
I just
I
always
was
think that would be
thinking
funny if
right.
somebody would be like, aye, and they're wearing an eye patch. That's all. That's
he
fine.
probably has like a set of eye patches. He's just not wearing one today.
Right, they're
I just-
fashionable. Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine
Bedazzled.
he's like he has like one of those like a headband, and then, like
Exactly,
he can always
yeah.
like pull him down if he wants to.
Yes,
I
my
mean,
problem
Ti-
beat God. Ah.
Tiny team huddle. Like not the pirate. Go away. Look.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Are we really just gonna trust that he's gonna be here when we get back after we had to intimidate into him letting us go? Should we leave someone here to make sure he doesn't leave without us?
Like
Yeah.
all
You-
eyes go to Soren.
Yeah.
All eyes go to Soren. I'm just
You-
saying Soren is adorable and he's not gonna do well with lying to pirates.
True. But is Soren going to be able to stop them from leaving without us?
He's a druid. He has control water.
And wood. And the ship is wood.
He can just make the planks in the ship go the wrong way. He talks to trees.
I was gonna say, can he talk?
A ship is a tree.
Is it technically a tree because it's not alive anymore?
It's a little bit of mix
One
of
way to find
necromancy and druidic magic.
Oh, jeez.
The first necromantic
Really,
druid to
honestly.
take over pirate ship.
Oh,
Speak
no.
with dead, speak with plants.
Yeah,
Smash them
exactly.
together.
Oh, no.
Why isn't there
Okay,
a spell
so
called
also-
Speak with dead plants?
We cannot let Soren too close to Clarence anymore if this is what's happening. Before we get another
Wait, what do you mean?
undead druid
I don't know
mob
what you
of the ocean. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Like you all
I'm
know
just-
how much chairs actually scream.
Oh god.
Oh boy.
I'm just saying, maybe we don't trust the pirate we just intimidated into working with us.
That's fair. That's fair. All right. But also, Soren
I
is
might
like,
be stupid, but I'm not dumb.
you're not either of those things, but you don't talk bad about yourself like that.
Thank you.
But also like Soren is like the only one that has to like get home, you know.
Yeah.
So is it really that bad if Soren is on the ship when the ship leaves?
That's a good point.
That
That's
is
a
a good
good point.
Forget Younderbound. It's just gonna be Soren's adventures back home.
Oh, just a spin-off, a Soren solo game spin-off.
Is
Well,
Soren
the
the
people
one
that I
who
met let me down. Failed me ultimately.
Bye. Is Soren the one who actually has the Borealis in his bag?
No.
I
Right.
thought Argus was carrying it around, but
Oh,
Yeah.
is it? Okay. Okay.
I was, yeah.
I was gonna be like, that would be kind of ironic if Soren was just like, peace out, see ya. Pew.
Deuces.
See you in season 3. No, we put it on Argus because he's the scariest.
That makes sense.
it's pretty big too. So I mean,
Yeah.
that's the other thing.
Yay.
So, Soren for ship backup, and the rest of us to go tickle pirates.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nods in agreement.
I heard tickle pirates, so
I also did.
I also heard tickle
Tickle
pirates.
pirates.
That's-
Tickle pirates.
You heard that because that's what I said.
oh, love it. Okay,
Yes.
awesome, amazing.
So that tracks.
Just to make sure.
Okay. Yeah, Ripper gets back onto the longboat and rows you all back ashore after your fishing endeavor aboard the ship. Okay, so yes, you now stand fish in hand with the cave in front of you. What would you like to do?
I'd like to take a bite of my fish, please.
A free action, absolutely.
Thank you.
It is raw and delicious.
Oh, glorious.
I will hum a little bit of a sea shanty and give Betty a bardic inspiration.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I don't remember if we long rested. Oh no, we did, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, everything has been reset, thank God.
Yeah,
Thank
thank God.
My poor spell slots.
Yeah, me
So
and my hit
depleted.
points were not happy.
Yeah, I was still bloody when I looked at my character sheet. I was like, I would hope we rested.
yeah.
Yeah, no, we
Ooh.
rested. We slept with Betty's family.
Yes. Yeah, so I think I just gotta just act natural. Just act natural. And Betty like tosses her net over her one shoulder, bill hook over the other, which looks kind of weird, but you know, whatever. She just rolls with it. And like as they're walking by I'm assuming there's a guard or somebody standing there at the end of the boardwalk. As they're walking by, she like pulls the net down, kind of tucks it in her bag, and she's like, "Hey, fish delivery."
You
Totally
stand
natural.
for a rather tall, like emperor penguin type fellow, and Betty, I think you would know at this point, like you've been through here enough times. This is Boaz. Boaz stands guard pretty frequently, and his little flipper hands kind of go to his sides. He goes, "Betty, you got friends today?"
I got a new crew.
Hey, what do you got?
Just some little guys, and then this big guy back here.
Gross.
Hey.
Sorry, I've had tarpon before. They have small bones and they smell terrible. I'm sure someone lead it. We got enough Mopak in here.
You know, it's wakeworm season out there. We're doing our best, okay?
Well, I don't blame you for staying closer to shore then.
Yeah.
But hey, it's driving all the good fish in, it seems, so not a bad deal. All right, will your crew know the rules then?
Oh yeah, we'll behave.
Okay, all right. Just remember, everybody's armed, everybody's grumpy and drunk. Have a good time.
I'm not drunk yet.
Yeah,
I got arms.
I 100% see Clarence, like, as we're walking by, just lifts up the bucket, I got arms, and then keeps toddling along.
Amazing.
Oh.
The penguin lifts a flipper-like arm and gestures you all to go on. And within, going up to the second level, I presume you said you were on the boardwalk, you can see that it is planked all the way through. There are rope bridges that connect from one side of the cove to the other. The bridges here almost seem like they can disconnect in the middle to allow a masted ship to go through, just in case. The second level is high enough, or the third level rather, is high enough that they wouldn't have to. But the bridges here seem like they actually have a mechanism which would lift them. And yeah, everything here is just like detritus. It's ship planks that have been repurposed. You can see that there is a bar called the Long Hook that is being currently serviced by a what's her name? There you go. It is a swan-like individual that Betty would know. Her name is Willa. And there seem to be just brigands and cutthroats all about. You can see a variety of different types of humble folk. Some you might not be overly familiar with. There are even some of the Allurans, the cat people walking about. There are Caprins, which are goat people. Mustals as well. There's Uskogs, which are like warthog-like people. As well as many of the types of folk that you might be familiar with around here. But you definitely see a lot of Quaqua and Holterdam, like duck and swan type folk, otter and beaver type folk. A lot of people that are used to the water, as well as like Sita. And you don't see as many of the gecko folk, like Soren. There's a couple of them, but they are definitely in the vast minority here. And all about, you can see people that are drinking, gambling, dice, cards, everything in between. And there is a single performer who is kind of like strumming on a lute towards the back that kind of gives an ambiance to everything. There's kind of like an air of smoke that is kind of this haze around here, and a lot of chatter.
So I think at that point, as we're kind of like sauntering down this boardwalk, Betty kind of slows down a little bit, moves back to Argus, and we can actually take this fish over to the tavern if you want, or we can literally just toss it and go do whatever it is that you're thinking.
They give us money for the fish.
They might.
Tavern's a good place to like let Clarence loose to find information, and then once Clarence has all the information, Argus can start a bar fight, and then we can fight our way out, and then Betty's happy too.
I
Win-win.
can also charm them again. Remember the last time at the tavern when I played the sea shanties? I could just do that, and then y'all could do what y'all do best.
Still don't have enough information for me to understand what exactly we can get here, so Clarence is the best at getting information.
We need to find the bestest pirate here that works for Balthazar, and then we take them. Right? For kidnapping?
Or
Yeah.
we convince the other pirates to actually pirate for us instead. Argus could be the king of the pirates and the bandits. I mean, mercenaries.
I mean, it's a really large kingdom. He'd need like a second in command.
That's why he has Killer Queen. Like,
No.
literally says queen in the title.
No, but she's technically already doing the mountain part. Oh no, he has a brother. His brother can do the pirates.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry, Argus. We'll get you your second kingdom.
I appreciate that, you two. I guess we'll head to the bar.
Tavern. Why do we always end up in bars? I'm barely legal.
Okay. Yes, you head over to the tavern area, which is wider open, has a lot of tables and chairs that are kind of set towards the edges with like this center area that a couple of pirates seem to be doing a jig. Not really like dancing with each other, but are just kind of like, it's a lot of very geometric, stilted movements as they are doing a very inebriated dance. Yeah, you walk up to the bar, and which somebody's just walking away from with a tankard full of some sort of beverage inside. And absolutely, you walk up to Willa. She is just like this kind of like very shining white in what is a little bit of light that's kind of streaming down. You look up to see that the cave has a number of like pocked holes in it, including a larger one further down, which you can see some massed ships, indicating that's like this spotlight down on all of the ships, this natural light that streams in. And one seems to hit the bar perfectly, that makes her kind of gleam behind it. And objectively, a very attractive swan, if that's your cup of tea. And she spreads out her feathered fingers across the bar and looks to Betty. Well, Betty Bradstream. Is that right, or is that Mochi?
It's all the same.
I'm
Bright
Bright
Paw.
Stream, she's Bright Paw.
It's all
Right
the
paw.
same.
See,
Look,
I
we're
always
a
get
I
blended,
know, I
we're a
know.
blended
it seems like
family
the
at this
Mopok
point.
should have the paw, and the one that's part of the water should have the stream. You
Yeah,
would
but
think
we-
so, right?
I'm so
we,
sorry.
we wash our food in the stream because we're wash bears.
That's right. Maybe I'll remember that next time, having never met your friend here before, but being familiar with their family as a person who collects information. Any hoozle. Second time I've said that with two different characters. Okay. What can I do you for? I see you have some fish.
Yeah, so Betty kind of just slides up to the counter and slides her elbow up there, leaning very casually. Yes, indeed. This is my new crew. This is Mochi. And this is Clarence. And this is Argus. This is my
slams the fish on the counter.
Yes. And
Oh.
we have brought you some fish.
You sure have. All right. Well, I see you brought me a topping. That's
I realize that is not it's not ideal, but as I told Boaz as we were coming in that it is wakeworm season. Apparently, it came early this year, so
well, they're doing that whenever they like, not just early. All right. Well, what else you got besides that?
just some little guys in these buckets here. Nothing too fancy. Unfortunately.
Are you placing the bucket up on the counter?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. She takes a look and she kind of like shifts through them a little bit, and she then like lifts the bucket a little bit. Betty, you're not trying to run one over on me, are you?
You? No.
It's
And she kind of leans in conspiratorially, and she's like, "Now, Willa, it's not a full bucket. I realize that, but that was I really wanted to come in and see you today, and I didn't think Boaz was going to let me in with just half a bucket of fish and a tarpon."
Well, color me flattered then. I will ignore the 5-ish pounds of sand. Let's see. I've got a few possum folk inside that I'm sure will eat this tarpon. They'll practically eating the plates that I serve it on. And I could give you 50 gold for this. This is a decent catch as far as I've seen lately.
That's appreciated. Thank you.
Now I could also pay you in something else depending on why you're here with some conspicuous friends, including one that I know is King of the Bandits. I'm sorry, mercenaries. I know you've rebranded. I tend to stay an informed individual. It comes with the trade, you see. She kind of like bows just a little bit.
Betty's literally doing like the what? No, what? Who? What? I would what? And then she just kind of like steps back to let Argus up to the bar.
Yeah, I'd recognize that hammer anywhere. I spent a few years up in your campus before I decided it was too damn cold for a lady like me. Haven't seen you carried around. Saw your daddy carry around plenty.
There's been a change of regime recently.
I've heard. For the better, so I hear as well.
And I normally wouldn't be down here without reason. I'm currently feuding with a certain so-called king of these seas.
Mm-hmm.
And they have something very precious of mine. So, we've heard that there's something that might be precious to him down here.
I'm not sure that Balthazar Blackbones considers many things precious. However, he does have his friends, confidants, and employees. Tell you what, I trade you the 50 gold for a little bit of information that might get you just somewheres. She kind of looks up towards the ceiling of the third floor again, like the rafters and everything above. Back in the left there corner of the third floor, I think you'd find an individual that you might find elucidating on your current predicament. She is, I believe, looking for you, weirdly enough. So, who am I but to help two people find one another in this small world of ours? But I believe she has a message for you. As far as that, I can tell you just keep your beat clean of everybody else. There's some people who have stronger opinions of Balthazar than others, although none of us here are want to bow to any king outside of the Gasparian Isles, you understand.
There's a moment as soon as they say like someone has a missive for you.
Mm-hmm.
There's a look of
Brave.
annoyance, and this just the like he's still kind of holding on to the fish, and his claws are just kind of digging in just a little bit. It's the third floor.
Yes, my liege.
What do they look
Tall of
like?
an individual wearing a hood. And the shadows, easy enough to miss, but I think you will find her since she wants you to find her.
Thank you for your time.
Of course. Happy to be of service. Betty, you have made some interesting friends.
You're telling me.
Mochi leans forward just a little and goes, Betty's an adventurer now.
Is she now?
Yeah.
All right then. Okay. Are you old enough to be in here?
Technically, yes.
At that, Betty just kind of like turns, and, like shoos everybody else, like ahead of her, like shoo, shoo, boo, boo.
I'm 8. I'm allowed to be in here.
I'm 8.
I am 8. I am legally an adult.
The nightmare
I
every
run my own
bartender hopes
cult.
never to hear.
Oh no.
My license.
As everybody else is kind of walking out before her, she turns back and she says, "I hope I see you again soon. Thank you."
It's my pleasure as always, Betty. Okay. Finding yourselves a set of stairs, creaky though they are, that lead up to the third floor. It is quieter up here than it is on the second floor, and almost the sound it doesn't carry as well as you might think that it would. It tends to reverberate off of the stone around it and create like this sort of echo chamber on the second floor, but it's kind of drowned out a little bit by the time that you reach the third floor. Again, much quieter. You can see that there are a number of bunk beds here, a few rooms that are actually walled off with doors that seem to be closed and potentially even locked. A couple of tables where there are a couple of folks sitting at each of them, distanced enough from each other. And as you walk up, all of the eyes kind of dart to you, just for a second, just to see if you're a danger, and then dart back to one another, where there's these hushed whispers that again, with the music below, you can't necessarily make out exactly what they're saying. But looking back to where Willa had indicated, you can see that there is, in the shadows, very hard to perceive at first, if you hadn't known that she was there, you see these two corvum feet, these two black clawed feet, kicked up on a table, and she's kind of leaned back, very, Fellowship of the Ring, Aragorn Strider, with just these gleaming eyes that you can see through the light that streams down that's reflecting off of.
Just gonna walk towards them. No pomp, no circumstance, no looking at anybody else.
Yeah, as you walk towards her, one of her feet comes down from the table and kicks out a chair towards you. Feet.
We'll sit.
I'm glad you have found me, King Argus. I was hoping that you would save me some of the trouble. And here I was that I was right. You being someone who is so eager for information these days. I have that information for you.
What's the cost?
Oh, none whatsoever. My employer wants you to have this information for free, postage included, which is very expensive across the seas these days. She slides you know, very familiar shaped note to you with the seal on it.
Yep.
That letter has some information. But speaking of cost, if you do have any gold on you, we could perhaps chat about additional information that I might have for you. My name is Lorelei, by the way. It is, well, I am glad to meet you. I will not speak for you, as I can um, presume your distaste for this. I assure you, I bear you no ill will. I am but a courier. Um, but I am a courier who listens.
I'm not one to kill the messenger.
Good to hear.
As he will open the letter and read the contents inside.
The contents inside read, congratulations, your next step is complete. I've heard you've booked a ship. Though what ship? My informants haven't gotten that information to me yet. Find your way to Halara. I will meet you there. Ensure that the Borealis is safe between there and here. And your queen will be yours once again. Fail, lose the Borealis in any way, and you might as well sail back home alone. Signed, King Baltzar Blackstones.
I mean, I have money. I said, and without even thinking about it, we'll just pass this coin purse. I'm sure I've got money. Pass this coin purse to them.
Yeah, you're a king.
Okay.
She just like idly leans forward, lifts the coin purse just for a second, and drops it. Oh, would you want all of the information? Very well. What I have heard is that your queen is safe, as far as she can be. She is being treated with all of the dignities and respect as someone that is close to you, although her freedoms, of course, have been removed. She is nevertheless not being tormented in any serious way. I feel from my personal interactions with Balthazar that he is a businessman. And as long as you give him what he wants, he gives you exactly back what he took from you. A simple exchange is how he tends to engage. However, I have found that he can be quite ruthless when it comes to the final exchange of goods, especially if he feels that he can take something truly precious from the person he is doing business with. Um, a real bastard, I have heard him described as. I would just say, and this may be obvious, I apologize if it is, but always have your guard about you. Never trust a single thing that he says, and be prepared to strike him before he strikes you.
I plan to. I plan to a lot.
Not to sound greedy or perhaps sound too eager to play both sides, but is there anything that I could do to be of service to you?
Can I insight check her at this point?
Sure.
I'm not saying I don't trust her. I'm just saying I don't trust her.
That was a good roll, and I have high wisdom. There we go.
26.
Right. What I will say is that Mochi's like lack of trust, I think, is well placed in the sense that this is a mercenary to the very definition of her. Like she is someone who does whatever the highest bidder wants her to do. That said, Argus just put down a lot of gold just for information, and so you can see the gleam in her eyes as like, if this is what he's willing to pay for information, imagine what he's willing to pay for like actual tactile service. So it looks like I've just found my new highest bidder.
Yeah. Capitalism. Perfect.
Capitalism.
It's a side hustle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a
All right.
barista at Starbucks. Otherwise, it's yeah, it's rough.
The hard living out there.
Yeah, yes.
All right. Fair enough.
Well, if anything comes up, you can always ask for Lorelei Dust Caller, and I am more than happy to be of service for any messages that might need sent or any blades that might need to be delivered to the hearts of your enemies. I have many services.
I don't know where she's being kept. I
Mm,
know for a fact that when the deal is made, it will probably be a drop-off. All they need is a way to escape. One chance, one gap in security, one instance of no one looking at them, and they can free themselves. If you can provide that service, provide that gap, there is more in it for you.
She leans forward and picks up and drops the gold a little bit again. I can tell you one additional thing. In preparation for meeting you, as Balthazar has many informants, and he thinks that when he can be one step ahead, it makes him seem like he is magic, like he can foretell things. He just pays well when it comes to information. I can tell you that he has already sailed with your queen on the Golden Havoc and is planning to be at Halara within a week earlier than you could ever be, even if you sailed this second, to prepare for you. He is a lover of traps, you see. I am more than happy to sail with you, and once docked in Halara, to run ahead and see what I can, a path that I can best prepare for you to meet with him. But getting there faster than you, I fear, is quite impossible.
A bandit is not unfamiliar with the concept of traps.
Of course.
Whatever he throws my way, I will smash through. And I will make him regret thinking he is the magical one.
I have heard many threats in my time, but that is the only one that actually sent a chill up my spine, so good on you.
I know that I haven't incited them, so I will incite them about them coming aboard our ship and actually helping.
Sure.
Because money! That is a 21.
Yeah, I think with a 21, I will She's done a counter roll before, but I don't think she could have beaten a 26. She might be able to beat a 21. Nope, she rolled 2. I don't think that there's any like I'm gonna stab you in the back sort of thing. It's kind of like, hey, if you're going to hire me, I will be your employee, but I am a freelancer. Keep the money flow coming, and I won't have reason to look for other employment. It kind of sounds like, hey, this was my one job to deliver you this letter. I now have no employment. Keep the money coming, and you keep me under your employ. The money flow stops, and that's when we might have a problem. So she is offering to come aboard. I think that should probably stay out of the way. This is just you're a king of mercenaries now, and this is just a peasant of your kingdom.
We'll offer a hand to shake.
She takes her feet off and leans forward to shake yours. Grabs right at the wrist to check for daggers, of course.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It does the same.
Yeah. You absolutely do find a dagger. She goes, "Did you expect any different?"
No. But I expect you to help me free my confidant.
Of course, boss. Whatever you say. Or my king. Whatever title you would like. Pay me enough and I will call you Emperor of the Universe.
Do well enough, and you have a permanent residence.
Very well. I will prepare my things and meet you aboard your ship.
I guess. I guess. Could maybe you should ask if there's something valuable to the Pirate King that's here.
That is a good question.
Or just any item they used to be the Pirate Kings, because I would like one of those for reasons.
You wouldn't happen to know of anything that's quite valuable besides his image that one may take to tarnish that.
I will tell you this. He has one of his commanders, one of his captains, that is currently at port. He tends to value the people that serve him well. Perhaps cause an issue for this individual. Otherwise, and this is a more direly kept secret, so be careful with this information. But on the first level, back in one of the crevices of the cave itself, you can follow it to a secret number of vaults that are held by some of our more lucrative pirates that come into port. I believe Balthazar has a not insignificant amount of wealth held there, just in case. It would be quite dangerous to try to break into it, and stealing from a pirate's vault around so many other pirates is a bit taboo. But when you were talking about literal value, that is literally what he cares about.
I was thinking personal items so I can scry on him when Hath likes me just a little bit more. We can just kill his commander.
And
It's easy
though it is pirate taboo, I am no pirate.
No, you are not. Besides, pirates don't have many rules anyway. It's all wishy-washy bullshit.
I hear superstition is a highly valued thing with both.
It is a good way to crew, absolutely. Fear and respect, hand in hand.
Well, if we do go for this vault, consider that a nice bonus for you as well.
Mhm.
And Argus will stand up. I look forward to seeing what you can do.
I look forward to performing my best. I will leave this to you all, whether you would prefer to use her stat block as believe it's master thief or assassin. I believe they're pretty close to one another. And she could do either. It's whether you want somebody who is good at, you know, finding and manipulating things with her hands, or whether you want somebody who is good at killing. So you do not have to decide that. We can kind of talk about it on a break. What is your next move here in the cove?
So it's either the plans are either fuck with the commander, steal from his vault,
or just leave.
Or just leave.
I feel like
Yeah.
we do need to posit that option.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just leave. This is true.
Although, if Mochi gets a vote, it's gonna be fuck with the commander. Because she also doesn't care about money. She wanted a personal item in case she ever learns how to scry, because she's seen people do it and it looks really cool and invasive, and she doesn't do privacy. We're just not there yet.
Right.
But sending a message with a commander, we don't even have to kill him. If we can just like dye him pink or something, that'd be amazing.
Also, you could fuck with the ship.
Yeah. Betty is honestly in the camp of I'd rather just leave now with the information that we have, because part of her livelihood is here.
Yes.
But
We're not
if
that invested.
yeah, but if we had to make a vote, I would say maybe set this guy's ship on fire. I'm just saying.
The commander
Shadow's
ship, right?
immediate.
The captain's already gone.
Yeah. The commander's ship. Just set the ship on fire, because if
Set the
nothing
ship on
else,
fire.
that it will presumably.
Arlo, is that you?
presumably stop them from one chasing after us if we were to do anything else.
Mhm.
But also it sends a message for sure. So.
Pirates can be the distraction.
Yes.
God.
To be fair, we were already having a little side chat of Clarence being the distraction, so I could steal Argus's money back before you hired her.
That's true. Yeah.
But now I can't. But now she's a co-worker, and I can't
Yeah.
steal from co-workers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ruined everything.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't know this plan was happening. I was too invested in the RP.
Fair enough. All right, let's burn
Richie
down his
opens-
ship and go.
She opens the workplace fridge every day and just stares greedily at everybody's food.
Yes. I just picture that we already stole the purse, and as we get up to leave, we just sort of hand it again and go, "Welcome to the team."
I think. Hey, I don't have any magic to burn this bitch down, but I'm willing to burn a ship.
Don't worry, we have magic to burn this shit down. I'm sure
Let's
to carry
burn it down.
gunpowder.
Burn this bitch down.
I was muted. Let's go ahead and take our break early then.
Yeah, solid plan.
Deciding whether or not to burn down the ship.
Baby.
And how you're going to do this, you absolute pyros. I have now 2 games that I have to worry about anything wooden just going up in flames. So, okay. Thank you for joining us. Stick around. We'll be back in about 10 to 15 minutes. Enjoy our ad reel. Feel free to support any number of our wonderful affiliates, one of whom is now Hit Point Press. If you were looking to get your own copy of Humblewood, they also have cheaper copies. The book is about $50, but you can get cheaper copies that have like slight errors in them, slight printing errors. They're still great books, but they're discounted. You can get animated spell cards. You can get a lot of their other cool games and like third-party additional stuff to play with. All of that, if you use our link, it helps us out. And if we keep using that link to buy stuff, we actually we might get a discount code. So just throwing that out there if you're looking to get any Hit Point Press stuff for yourself. But also we have a number of other great affiliates. So if you're looking for some cool stuff, check them out. We'll be back 10 to 15 minutes. Thank you so much. Which I would typically say for Horizon's call, but it feels topical considering what we've been discussing during break. So as you all have gathered some information, also gathered a new ally or employee, however you would like to think of her. Once again, her name is Lorelei Duskcaller.
Ooh. I like
she's
that
a
last name.
Corvum.
Lauren, we fancy
She's
fancy.
very fancy. She is using the Ambitious Assassin stat block. So I am happy to put her, happy to like play her in combat unless anybody would like to have another stat block to manage, and we can always just make her an assistant to Argus or whomever else. But yes, you have gathered information as well as the ally, and have been discussing how you would like to piss off Balthazar Blackbones while in port, if at all. Some options that have been posited to you are a vault that you could potentially break into, but might also piss off a lot of people should you do that. There's also one of his captains who is in port, who you know that if you messed with that captain, you'd also probably piss off Balthazar as well. There always stands the option of just cutting your ties and heading to the ocean, since you know he already is one step ahead of you. What would you all like to do? Oh, and also messing with his ship, which is what we've been discussing.
Mm.
Okay,
Well,
we decided not to do the vault thing.
yes.
Okay.
And then there was a split vote. Betty wants to go home, or at least not fuck with her livelihood. I want to paint people pink and or whirlpool a ship. Argus just wants any kind of property damage. And
Sure.
Clarence abstained like Switzerland as long as he gets to play cool tunes.
Yeah, I might even say Clarence is more like Ireland at this point. Just like,
Mm.
At Little Island.
yeah, just
Famine.
really staying out of it because he has his own problems going on.
Fair enough.
I think that I think Betty could probably be swayed to the whirlpool idea as long as it's possible for us to kind of make it seem like we didn't have anything to actually do with this.
That's where Clarence comes in. The distraction has to be good enough that people don't see me cast.
Could we also maybe acquire a rowboat or use our own rowboat to like move ourselves into maybe not necessarily the open water, but somewhere that's a little bit more secluded, maybe hiding behind a boat somewhere that's closer to the ship that we want to?
You want to be on a rowboat when I make a whirlpool.
Maybe on the dock.
How close do you have to be to the water to make this happen?
That's a good question.
300 feet.
Oh, I mean, in that case, we could be on a boat
We could
far
just leave.
away
We
and
can
nobody
leave
would
and
know.
We can leave.
Just
Nobody would
leave.
see it.
Okay,
Stand on
so
the
we know what we're
beach.
discussing. The range is 300 feet. The casting time is an action. I need a drop of water and a pinch of dust, and after that it's a concentration spell.
Good lord.
How
Pinch of
far
dust.
from?
I prepared it because I thought I was going to have to like drown a wake worm today, but that's not what we're doing apparently.
Well, not yet.
The
Drown
day
a
is
worm
young.
that lives in water.
So
I can also make a trench.
Drown a fish.
No, you can make a trench and like remove the water from an area.
Fair enough.
Drown it in air.
absolutely terrifying when it comes to the ocean.
I love
So, so how far from the ship to the shoreline? What is that distance? Is that more than 300 feet?
Do we even know what ship we're looking for?
No.
Okay.
We didn't
Pick the
ask.
grandest one.
Does Lorelai happen to know what ship we're looking for?
Would you like to ask her?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
For reasons that aren't nefarious.
Also,
Uh-huh.
what's the stat block you said you were gonna use for her?
She is using the ambitious assassin stat block.
Vicious assassin.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. She would inform you that the Kismet Blade is the ship of the captain here.
Aha. Where have I heard that name before?
It's almost like I sent you a list of ship names. Like, what do you guys like?
Uh-huh.
So yeah. So is that 300?
Yes. To answer your question, Shadow, you would have to be at the very mouth of the cave, where the waterway is, because it is to hit that 300 point. It is pretty deep inside the cave, but that's
Okay.
that's the extent. You would be able to hit it from the mouth of the cave.
And
Uh,
if the vortex is The whirlpool forms a vortex that is 5 feet wide at the base, up to 50 feet wide at the top, and 25 feet tall. Can I target like a single ship, or are the ships around the Kismet that I would also hit?
So I'm sorry, the widest point is 50?
50.
Okay.
Up to 50, so I can make it narrower if need be. But I don't know how large the Kismet is.
Well, the Kismet is gargantuan. All
Jesus.
of these ships are considered gargantuan
It's
in
ridiculous.
size. It's unless you have like a Viking ship or like a longboat, most ships are considered gargantuan in size. So what I will say is, with 50 feet, you probably be able to pull in like 3, maybe 4 ships. If you're just targeting the Kismet blade, you would have to pull in at least 2 ships,
Okay.
potentially a
But-
third.
If it's gargantuan, so it does 2d8 damage around for 10 minutes. It's like roughly 800 damage if we roll average every single time. Is that enough
Right.
to actually hurt the ship? How sturdy
Oh,
does
yeah.
it look?
Oh, absolutely. So
I don't
one
think,
moment,
but the
please.
thing is, I don't think we can stay there for the full 10 minutes.
So
Probably.
Google tells me that gargantuan is anything that's larger than 20 feet. So like it's big, but it's not as big as maybe some of us were thinking, because my brain immediately went to like
Mine went like to
dragon size.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's anything that's larger than 20 feet.
I mean, I'm 3'1", so it's still.
I mean, it's still big. I'm not saying it's a small ship. I'm saying that
No,
like
but then I can get
in relation to how much space that takes up versus a 50-foot whirlpool versus you'd have like 20 feet on either side probably where there's no other ship next to it.
So let me break out my Horizons Call size,
Ooh.
because I had to change things because of reasons.
Ooh.
So medium's 5x5, large is 10x10, huge is 15 to 25 by 15 to 25.
Oh.
Gargantuan is 25 to 40 by
Oh,
25
okay.
to 40. Colossal is 40 to 80 by 40 to 80, and then we have Titanic, which is less than 80 by less than 80, or I'm sorry, greater than 80 by greater than 80, and then Mega, which would not be pictured, which is like something that's like out in space, would be like greater than 500 by greater than 500.
Jesus.
So
25 to 40 is still doable in a 50-foot whirlpool.
Yes, indeed.
The
Yes,
problem is, though, he did say I have to pull 2 ships. And we weren't going to hurt anybody else. So we may still have to reconsider you lightning bolting and assuming you know where the gunpowder is kept. Lorelei, where's the gunpowder?
yeah, like they are docked side by side, so if you're trying to pull in one, you're likely going to try to pull in another.
God damn it. So can Lorelei tell us what the powder room is?
Lorelei would not be able to tell you exactly. She's not been on this ship. Unfortunately, I've not toured all of these ships. However, powder rooms are typically on the lower decks, and typically far enough away from any type of immediate damage to the outside of the ship that would otherwise ignite them.
Yeah, I'd have to get inside.
Okay, so we could just burn a hole in it. I do have I could just make some acid and then we could just burn a couple holes into it and then it'll just sink in port, which is also very frustrating.
Can you use
So if
acid
the hole-
underwater?
No.
It would
What?
So they just patch the holes. Don't they do that like all the time?
That's if they're on the ship and are like paying attention.
True.
And to your question earlier, Anniek, about the hit points that a ship might have. So the way that the D&D breaks it down, which isn't the best, but it's fine for
That's what
this.
we've got.
The hull has 500 hit points. The helm has 50. The oars have 100. The sails have 100. And then the weapons all have their own hit points as well to try to damage
I
them,
don't need
so.
to break the whole thing. Just the hull will be fine.
Yeah.
Is flipping the thing like it's a check, right? It's like a D100 or whatever.
It just says 25% chance. So I
Okay.
assume I
Yes.
roll a D100 and he tells me if I have to go under
Oh.
25 or over 75.
Is
Yes,
something.
but
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna ask, isn't that for huge and under?
Yeah, if this one's bigger than huge,
Right.
so that doesn't work.
Okay, let's just die in pink.
Just the whole ship is Turn pink.
Or the commander. I still say, but why are we doing property damage again? We can just kill the commander.
Yeah.
That's
No.
property damage. That's
Wait.
technically property.
Hold on. What? I thought we were
Technically
just
property damage, is that what you were saying?
Yeah, it's technically right. I mean, if the pirate king thinks that them is property, that's technically property damage.
We can also just kidnap him. And
so
then
many,
leave him.
so many options here.
And if you kidnap him, we leave him in a room with
Well,
Rigger. That's going to be worse than death,
I would
right?
at least like to see the ship to see what we're dealing with before we even go
And I
do
want to see
anything
the
else.
commander.
Inside my head, I just go, Cal, is it worth it to mess with this commander?
I mean, do you want to send a message?
Yeah, but it's gonna take a really long time, and we kind of already took a lot of time.
Okay.
We should probably get going.
So like as everybody's having these conversations, the acid thing kind of sticks with Betty. I can breathe underwater.
I
So
believe you can hold your breath.
I can breathe underwater because of
because you're
my
a
storm
tempest.
soul.
You're right. Thank you. I'm sorry.
So, if we can find something that will allow her to drill a hole in the bottom of the ship, she could do that. I don't have anything personally. That's where we're at. I can solve the problem. I just don't have the tools to solve the problem.
I'm sorry, did someone say tools?
Yes, indeed. If you can make me something to drill into the bottom of the ship, I can hold my breath and swim down there and drill a hole in the bottom of the ship.
Allow me to grab my scroungecraft bag. Oh shit.
So, just a bunch of holes just in the bottom of the shit, like
Yep.
pot marks. Just like,
Yup.
Yep.
Let's
why are we
go.
slowly taking in water? What's happening?
There's just a bunch of little teeny holes in the bottom of the ship. It's like a fucking sieve down here.
This is all it's buoyancy.
Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da.
Do you want to send a message or not? Do you want a reputation as someone to be feared? Do you want to be remembered for something?
Well, yeah. Doesn't everybody?
Here you are talking about drilling tiny little holes in the hull of a ship, making it a little bit of Swiss cheese that they're going to immediately plug up as soon as they notice it's taking on water. A minor inconvenience, Clarence, really? You're better than that.
Well, we don't really have anything else.
I've given you so many additional tools in your tool belt, Clarence.
What? Am I supposed to chill touch a boat? Cow?
If only there was a way to blast it, Claire.
Wait.
I have all the time in the world. Do you?
Look, I could put you back in the vault.
You
But I
could.
won't. Because
But
all right, so but the Eldritch Blast does force damage.
Yes.
But it has a verbal component, so I can't cast that underwater anyway.
Who's talking about being underwater?
But that's because we want to do it without drawing attention.
Isn't attention the point? You're damaging someone's ship. What's
Yeah,
what's
but-
the sense in sending a message? You're going to flatten someone's tires and then just have them wonder who did it? Carve your name into the side of that ship on your way out. Let them know never to mess with Clarence ever again. Besides, there's a damage threshold on the hulls of ship that you need to do at least 20 damage to it to actually do damage at all. It just doesn't feel like a drill's really going to do that, you know what I mean?
So, but okay, you know how long it would take me to carve my name into a ship? My name is 8 letters long, Cal. It's like too many Eldritch Blast. Okay, all right. You're right. We could do that.
I'm just saying, you could sneak aboard through one of the cannon ports. If you're quiet enough, you'll avoid all detection, and then just... I'm sure finding the smoke powder storage shouldn't be that hard.
But that's not the same thing as the Eldritch blasting the side of the thing. Okay.
I was more suggesting Eldritch blasting from within.
Oh.
Just make sure you don't do a Dido. I guess do a Dido. She wasn't going to go down with that ship.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I do have Dimension Door, which is a range of 500 feet. So I could get aboard the ship and then light the fire and then just Dimension Door out of there. I just need to be able to see 500 feet away.
How are you
Which-
gonna see 500 feet away from inside the ship?
Yeah, well, there's portholes and canyon openings and ore openings.
Hello, Clarence.
Oh god, I love it how my brain is like, has Clarence always had Dimension Door? But Betty wouldn't know better anyway. So yeah.
It's the Eldritch
Oh,
Blast
nice.
that's
There it
more
has to-
worrisome, but we haven't used it yet. Well, last session, but
I didn't. Oh no, I did use Eldritch Blast.
yep.
And Argus has no idea who can use what magic, so it's
It's all the same to you.
it's all the same magic to me.
So can we have a look at the commander before we pick between commander and ship?
I think that's a good idea.
Because if the commander's like a cute little hedgehog, then we can just give Rigger like a buddy for the long voyage over, like someone to talk to at least.
I imagined you kind of have made it down to the second level at this point.
Walking
kind
and
of having
talking.
this. Yeah. Lorelei points a black feather kind of like over your shoulder, like line of sight across the room. That is the captain in question, one Ferdinand Reaver. And you will look across the room to see this like shoulders above everyone else mountain goat, Caprin. You know, the like sideways irises and these like curled horns, and he has a tankard of ale in both of his hands and just whacks another person, headbutts him right to the floor and goes, "Yeah!"
No, but seriously, what if
Woo!
we can like charm him or make him sleep and dye him pink and then leave?
If we need to distract him, I can do that immediately.
Don't headbutt. No, look at the horns. Don't get into a headbutting competition. Wait, can we heal TBIs?
Concussions and all that. Yeah, theoretically, yeah. In this game of pretend, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Let's
Let's
get-
go.
let's get- pretend, yeah,
Raise-
absolutely.
Oh
I
my
take it back. Go
gosh.
ahead. Do what you want.
I mean, I can distract him while you guys figure out a way to get on that ship and disable it.
Knock him out and shave him.
I was thinking that, yeah.
Okay. Argus as distraction. This is new.
Yeah. Okay, Argus is a distraction. Clarence and I go to the ship. Betty? Are you team distraction or team fuck this shit up?
Do I know this captain? Like, I'm sure
don't
I've
think
seen
so.
him around, but okay.
He might have been in port a couple of times, but no. Ferdinand is definitely someone who is more commonly known around the Casparian Isles, and more
Okay.
just comes into port to smuggle goods, or if he's just looking to make trouble. If he's, this is the nearest port to wherever he's been pirating, and typically causes a number of concussions, and then makes his way back to the Casparian Isles.
Okay. I think Argus has probably got the distraction on lock, so I think I'm going to go with Clarence and Mochi to act as a lookout from like
Okay.
the dock.
Okay. All right. Well, as we go to split the party, then, Betty, Mochi, and Clarence, you all go heading off towards the where all the ships are docked. It is further down. You can actually see that there's a level of stairs that lead you down to the cold, wet stone. And further along, you can see again like that spotlight shining down of midday sun, where the ships are kind of illuminated therein. You can see that there are 7 ships docked here. And you can spot, based on the names kind of carved into the backs and sides of them, what each of them are, and would spot a sizable warship with these dark crimson sails that is marked as the Kismet Blade. You can see that all the ships have a couple of people on board, at least, just a couple of crew, just to make sure that nobody steals with or otherwise messes with the ships. Otherwise, they are all moored to these mooring ropes that are set into the stone itself to keep them from kind of bumping into each other as well. There are little boardwalks that kind of extend out at least to where you could walk up and down the ship, not much further than that. And all of the sails are furled. Nothing's really moving in here. Everything's just kind of swaying with the very low amount of tide that's kind of coming in from the ocean into this pool. And again, sizable pool, and you can see that there's boxes stacked up on the rocks. It seems like people have offloaded some stuff here, and you can see that there are some parts of the cave that lead further in to areas that you're not exactly sure where they lead to. I will say that Lorelei does stay to keep an eye on Argus, just in case, as
He's the one who pays her.
Primary employer. Yeah.
Clarence.
Yeah.
Do you need some help with the sneakying?
Probably.
Beautiful. I will cast Veil of Dusk on Clarence. You get advantage on stealth and a +1 to your armor.
Okay.
Oh, she's been doing some studying.
So a stealth check from all of you, please.
Yes.
Except for Argus.
Didn't realize I was trying to be sneaky.
I thought Betty was the lookout. You don't have to.
Just kind of like standing
Yeah, you
there
have to-
casually.
You have to.
Like-
Yeah. No, you belong here. You live here, right?
Well, yeah, it's more like I imagine that like it's there's a boardwalk or the docking area, I guess, and there's probably like barrels, but also like poles with lanterns on them and whatnot. So I imagine she's kind of like just like leaned
So
up.
Betty, you can do yours with advantage, as this is a roll of
Just trying to be
nonchalance.
casual, just like
Yeah.
super
So casual.
casual about it.
So casual as you knowingly are aiding and abetting your friends doing immense property damage.
100%.
Still a stealth.
Oh my gosh.
Look, pirates don't really believe in property, otherwise they wouldn't be pirates.
It's the free market, you understand.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The free market,
The
yar.
free market.
A laissez-faire sort of economic
Oh
scenario.
my god. That's another 10 for me.
Oh, God.
I know.
Listen, the proletariat and the bourgeoisie. Have you read Marx?
Share and share alike is all I'm saying.
Mochi and Clarence, what did the two of you get?
Clarence got 22.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah, man.
23.
Alright.
You know how many points I put in Mochi's stealth build to fight my armor? This is...
That is an average of 18. So as Betty seems to have a level of nonchalance to her, as she kind of just puts herself next to the barrels, gives a little salute as some pirates are going by. Definitely just a little bit of anxiety breathing. But Mochi and Clarence, you stick to the shadows, and the shadows seem to stick to you as you maneuver yourselves closer and closer to the ship. What are the three of you, I guess, doing? Betty, if you're sticking there, that's great. Keeping an eye out.
Yeah.
I'll get a perception check from you here in a minute. But Clarence and Mochi, what would the two of you like to do?
Get with the ship.
I think before the two of them walk away,
Yeah.
Betty says, listen for the thunder. That's the That's the code.
If only I had ACDC
Okay.
rights.
Yeah, but Mochi will send you a sending if you need a run.
And otherwise, look for the explosion.
Got it.
And Betty, go ahead and give me that perception check right now then.
Da, 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 da. This is gonna go so well, guys.
Oh, this is gonna be great. What number is that? It's a 13. It's a 19 total.
Great. Okay. So what I will tell you is that you can spot that there are 2 bandits, or brigands, I should say, on the top deck of the ship. Both just seem to kind of be chatting idly, and don't seem to be paying too much attention to anything else that's happening off of the ship. You do note that, like, through the gunnels, where the cannons might fire, that there is light below deck, but you don't see any movement of anyone below deck.
Okay. Sneaky music is great.
Mm-hmm.
Just wait, just a little bit. Can I take out the Eye of Starsight
Yes.
and do some, like, figure out how we get to the powder room the quick way?
2 main ways are kind of like available to you, like your 2 little Google Maps that would direct you.
Yeah.
You know, one is less lit up. It's like, oh, equal distance. So the main way is to go up the boardwalk and down the main set of stairs, which are set into the cargo area that would get you below decks. The less obvious way is to Assassin's Creed climb up the side of the ship and crawl through one of the gunnels.
I mean, I did train in athletics in the off season, but I'm also, like, still not the best. Clarence, do we want to go around and down, or climb up the side of the ship and go into gunnels?
Maybe around and down, because we also need to leave a message that says it was us, otherwise the ship just randomly explodes.
It's true. Alright, let's go. Around and down, please, Derek.
Okay, so you're going to climb up through one of the gun ports?
No, we're going up the boardwalk and then down to where they do the cargo thing.
Okay. So that will have you most likely, despite your stealth, seen by the pirates that are on the top deck.
Oh, but that's where we wait for Argus to cause the distraction.
Let's cut back to Argus then.
There we go.
Okay, Argus. You have seen your companions go off towards the boats. You find yourself kind of in the bar area, the Long Hook Tavern area, and you can see that your target, Captain Ferdinand Reaver, has just recently headbutted somebody. Again, double fisting a couple of tankards. You can see that he has a battle axe kind of on his back, and otherwise just a number of daggers, things like that. But otherwise, is a sizable mountain goat individual. How would you like to proceed?
I'm just gonna walk up to them. If one person knows I'm king, I'm sure several people know I'm king. As I approach the table or the group of people that he's around.
Let's get you some music for this. Okay. You approach Ferdinand. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. There we go. And there's these like weird goat eyes kind of like narrow in on you. Who are you then? Big Bad?
Argus Ironcaw, king of the Crest Mountains.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of you. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not supposed to like you.
You're not supposed to. Who told you that?
Oh, my king did. And so Go away.
And here I was going to offer a bit of competition.
Oh, you want to fight?
Mm.
Yeah, all right then. He takes both the tankards and overturns them onto your head. He is going to headbutt you.
And I'm gonna
Let's
headbutt
go
him
ahead
at the
and roll
same
for
time.
initiative.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, this is sure to be a time.
5 episodes
Gonna hit
until I
people
just
with-
hit somebody.
So he's gonna hit someone with a chair. We're not there. Curses.
I rolled a 19.
19. Okay. You will go first. So you see his eyes close as he dumps the tankards, tosses them, and he goes like his head is coming back for a headbutt. What would you like to do before that head snaps forward?
I just want to, like, as he's reeling back, Argus just like grabs his face and then slams him backwards. So his momentum is carried with him downward.
Okay. Let's call this one of your improvised attacks. You're using a man's face against him.
Sure.
So I believe you have something for that for Scofflaw.
I do.
Go for it.
Well, if I break the object with a bonus action, it does max damage, no die roll.
Let's see if you can. You know what? If you do a level of damage on this,
Break a horn. Break a horn. Break a horn.
I will let you break. I will say you break a horn on this. I think that is fair. You definitely crack one of those ram's horns.
Sure. Is that like, because technically, is it a grapple? Because I'm grabbing his face.
It is technically a grapple. It's kind of like a grapple and a shove. This is one of those things that I don't think D&D really has a lot of rules for, where it's technically an unarmed attack, but also it's just really cool. So we can consider this a grapple for sure.
Sure. Okay. So do I roll to hit, or am I rolling athletics?
Let's roll to hit, because it does feel like you're going to do damage on this.
Okay. That is a dirty 20 to hit.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
So you also have advantages.
Yes. Yeah. So dirty 20 to hit, so absolutely hits. So
that absolutely hits. And then let's see here.
What is the man's face in die size?
Exactly. What does your Scofflaw ability allow you to do?
Scofflaw ability. Let's look it up. That's
I'm trying to pull up too.
brutal brawler. You have proficiency. Where is it at? Did they change it in this version? Looks like they changed. No, hold on. Whenever you hit with an improvised weapon, you may spend a bonus action to break it over your opponent. Doing this destroys the weapon, but deals maximum number of the weapon's damage dice could deal to the target. Any additional dice added to the attack's damage roll are not affected by this ability.
Okay. All right. In that case, let's see. Let's consider this. You're cracking a horn. You're smacking a man's face down. Let's call this D8. So we can say it does the max amount of damage. It will do D8 plus your strength modifier. So what's your strength mod?
That's a 5.
Okay. So 8 plus 5 then, so 13 points of damage as you kind of like take the momentum away and just like pound this goat face, this ram's head into the ground. A horn snaps off like a crack of thunder, and like the boards actually break a little bit as he goes into it. So I will tally that damage, 13 points. Anything else for your turn?
I got a second attack.
Go for it.
I will just take out the maul. So let me show you something harder than your head. And I'm just gonna smash it down on the other horn to try to break that one.
Okay.
And that is another dirty 20
Yeah.
for 16 points of damage.
Damn. Okay. All right. Yeah, he is bleeding from like both nostrils. The other horn has absolutely cracked off. It looks a little ridiculous at this point, as like these curled ram's horns are now just like almost embedded into the wood on either side, and he comes up to these two nubbins. Anything else for your turn?
And then I'm just gonna like crouch down, looking down at them. I'm sorry for what I'm gonna have to do to you, but I'm very mad, and your king stole my wife.
He like looks up with one eye and he goes, "Ah, it's just business, right? Speaking of, I've got some business for you." And he is going to, still on the ground, he's going to pull something from like a bandolier that he has. It's a small, kind of just like handheld piece of metal, and he is going to essentially just like push it into your chest. So I will need a DC 15 dexterity saving throw at disadvantage, please.
Disadvantage. Ooh. Oh, I failed by 1. That's 14.
Okay.
No, you have advantages.
I have advantages. Oh shit! Wait, so that makes it flat, right?
So many advantages.
that'll make
I gave you one at the start of the game. Just use them.
You can roll another time if you would like.
Okay, yeah, sure, I'll do that. Then 21.
Okay, fantastic. With that, then, as this force grenade goes off, essentially like on your person, you are only going to take, what's that? Half of. You're only going to take 9 points of damage, and there it is. Let's see. On 20-foot radius. Okay. After the
Jesus, 20-foot radius. You let go of a grenade in a closed space.
Oh yeah, no, he's also going to make the saving throw at disadvantage. This was a holy shit that really hurt. Here's a dumb thing. You also, I should notice, I'm not sure Argus would recognize what this is. This individual seems to have a musket strapped to his back as well, like right along his lower back. Yeah, no, he does not succeed. He is going to take the full brunt of that.
Ouch.
Oh, that was unadvised. All right. He's pushed back about 10 feet from you, and he is going to just stand up from there. All right. Well, not dead yet. And he is going to pull his battle axe and make a charging run at you. So let's see if he will be able to hit you on this. Let's see. That's a 17. What is your AC?
17.
That does hit. Okay. So you are going to take.
I can't believe he can use a grenade and hit me with an axe at the same turn. It's crazy.
Hey, two attacks.
Two attacks.
He does that's 9 plus 4, so 13 points of slashing damage as he comes at you with the battle axe, trying to kind of cut down in a similar way to you, although I think that he's looking a lot rougher than you are at this point.
Mm-hmm.
That is it for his turn.
Do any of his friends look like they're interested in coming to his aid?
There is like, since you smashed his face in, like the bar went quiet for just a second, and now it has erupted with like shouts and cheers, and there's people just, like, there's a circle around you right now.
Gotcha.
And you can absolutely see there are some of his friends that are kind of like stepping in. He puts a Capron like clawed hand to kind of stop them, like, I got this one, boys. Although I'm feeling a bit shy, if you wouldn't mind the whistle, please. And you can see how one of his Sita takes out a whistle and just blows it 3 times. With that actually echoes down to where Mochi and Clarence, you are kind of like about to get on the boardwalk of the ship. And even Betty, from your position, you can see the ears perk up on these humble folk that are on the top deck of the ship, and they go to like grab their sabers at their sides as they go running down off of the ship, and they're just like trying to run along the wet rock and not slip as they go running towards the tavern. Okay, so let's pause there real quick and go back to Clarence, Mochi, and Betty. It seems like Argus has absolutely made that distraction, as the crew seem to have evacuated the ship. What would you all like to do now?
Sneak aboard. Sneak aboard.
Sneak aboard.
Sneak aboard.
Okay.
Yeah.
With your sneak snacks, you are able to sneak pretty carefully aboard the ship. Little creaking of wood here and there, but nobody really seems to notice. And as this light is kind of streaming down, yet you were able to find shadows, the pretty like strong pools of shadows where the light kind of hits one side of the ship or another, and you were able to manage yourselves pretty deftly to where. You find the stairs that are going to navigate you down. And below decks, you can see that there are lanterns lit all about. There seem to be several chests of goods down here. There's also like an area where the crew probably sleep, a lot of hammocks. You pick up on at least one humble folk who may be snoring down here in one of the hammocks. But your stealth maintains with that 18 average. And then you can also see all of the cannons kind of lined as well. They've all been rolled back from their gun ports to where they're not all they're not a threat currently to anybody. Several of the gun ports have been closed. A couple are open. They're like giving a little bit of air to come in. That low tide smell ever present. And further down, you can see that there is a locked up almost like a prison cell sort of construction. It's set towards the center with a lot of reinforcement on either side, and has a lock on the door, but it's like those straight bars with a couple of crossbars in between. And therein, towards the aft of the ship, you can see that there are several barrels all stocked up together, which you can kind of tell just at a glance with the indicators, all the symbols on the side are likely explosive.
Is there anyone in the jail cell?
No, that is the black powder is within the jail cell.
Okay.
So the black powder is locked up inside.
I don't want to explode anyone who's against the same people we're against. That would be sad.
Yes, you don't. You would imagine probably the brig is on the very lowest deck. This is probably locked up just to make sure that when you get too much rum in you don't blow up the ship.
Don't worry, we can blow up the ship all sober. So Clarence, I'm thinking you wanted to send a message, but Argus is currently beating up their captain, probably, because I don't think they're just talking.
Oh,
Wouldn't he put two and two together?
I mean, I guess, but then he just thinks it's Argus, not us.
True.
Here, I have an idea. Wait, we're blowing up the ship, and it's all wood.
So if we write anything here, it's just going to be on the bits of the ship that are going to go everywhere. I know the name of the captain. We can blow up the ship, and then I can send him. Haha! Claris and Mochi fucked up your ship.
What about the heroes of the Humblewood send their regards?
Oh, better.
Yeah.
Wait, does he know who the heroes of the Humblewood are?
I mean, shouldn't he?
He might be an idiot.
Feels like
We'll
a
ask
Guy
around.
Ritchie movie scene.
We'll send it. He can figure it out later.
Yeah.
He can do his own research. Educate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, explode the barrels. Dimensions
yeah.
out.
Well,
Be good.
the amount of time it takes, I guess we can make it so that the fire will slowly get to the barrels so we have time to leave.
Can't you just cast barrels and then we dimension door out?
Well, so, I mean, you can light small fires with prestidigitation. There's always that.
I have create flame if that's the thing.
What
Wait,
if?
Yeah.
What if you... Very technical question. How far away is the entrance from the ship? Like the entrance to the cove?
Oh, probably about 350, maybe 400 feet max.
Yeah, we can dimension door that.
So, okay, so, because
So.
you have to, if you make the crate flame and then you throw it and then I dimension door us as it's in the air before it hits the barrels,
Perfect.
we'll go to the entrance of the whole thing, but then you have to tell Betty to get out of here so Betty doesn't get caught in the blowing up of the ship.
Okay. That works?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if Betty doesn't run fast enough, I also... No, I'll just send her. Do I send her now so she can just... If she starts, like, casually walking to the exit now, then she can start running when the boat explodes.
Yeah, then it just looks like she's running from a general explosion, not running away from setting the explosion.
Okay. Hi, Betty. Are aboard, found powder, going to explode ship. Start walking now, run when boom.
Betty responds with literally just got it.
Alright, you got it, we can go.
Okay, all right, you ready? You get the flame ready. And
Getting the flame ready.
Clarence,
I will cast Create Fire.
Clarence starts the
Continual flame.
the verbal component for Dimension Door, visually picturing the entrance of the cove if he can't see it through the little cannon hole.
Okay. You were able to do so, Clarence. You prepare your dimension door, the shape of it, the outline already generating through your magical energy, and then
I chug the fire at the barrels.
okay.
And then we step through the Dimension Door.
So
Timing.
a keg of smoke powder does 9d6 damage. These are barrels. I'm going to double that to 18d6. And then there are 15 of them. So
We didn't count before we set the fire.
Derek told us, but Mochi didn't count.
Didn't count, so
I don't remember him saying 15, but
No,
okay.
I'm pretty sure
I
he
didn't
said
say a number. I
15
said
at
they
some
were
point.
stacked on top of each other. It
Yeah.
was a
Exactly.
So proud of
total
each other.
Didn't
full
say a
of
number.
barrels.
Fine. It'll be fine. Maybe the whirlpool was the less aggressive approach.
Okay. You all. God, I have no music for this. You all.
That's how loud the explosion is.
No, honestly, it is deafening. Like I need. Jesus. I need Betty to actually make a Constitution saving throw with disadvantage. I need Argus to make a Constitution saving throw.
Jesus. The nuke
Clarence
going off.
and Mochi, you dimension door as 990 points of damage are done with this explosion. It sends a shockwave. The explosion is enough to take out, like, do enough damage to the hulls of both ships on either side that Betty, like this small nuclear bomb, explodes out of the back of the ship. Like the back of the ship is non-existent at this point, as the ship immediately starts to Titanic and sink down. The other two ships next to it look like they've just gone through like a fight with a warship twice their size, as the entire sides of them are on fire, scorched, blown open. They start to sink as well. A shock wave sends out. So the Constitution save. I'm sorry for hitting my mic. Constitution save, Betty.
I was actually hoping to
Yes.
have Betty be like running down the boardwalk and then dive into the water.
Sure. Okay. Great. It is. I think the shockwave still sends through the water. So,
Okay.
yes. Just you can do a Constitution save. It still is a disadvantage, unfortunately.
Okay. I think I'm gonna use one of my advantages to balance it out. If that's okay.
Like the way of events was start bar fight, whistle happens, explosion.
Yeah, no, like they've run as like the bar fight. You're just in like your second round of combat.
Yeah, like about to
So
start swinging again, and then whistle.
Yeah, it all went very quickly.
yeah, so actually, Argus, before you even do your con save, let's do another round of combat for you.
Yeah, sure.
Like, have you seen Fallout?
Oh yeah, it's Nuketown. Yeah, it's a woof. Boy. Watch Paradise Falls explode. So I'm gonna attack him twice.
Yeah,
And we'll see what that does. 23 to hit,
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
16 damage.
Okay. That leaves him barely up.
Okay. And then as he's priming up for the last hit, he just goes, "Let me show you what the force of an avalanche feels like." As he cracks him over the head again, just Shao Kahn.
Yeah,
over-
absolutely.
And that's dirty 20 to hit
Yeah,
for 13 damage.
exactly how much he had left.
Ah!
You crack him on his goat head, like just like maybe just like leveling out the horns at this weird angle. What's left of these nubbins, and like you hear the skull crack as he goes down. I will
Bounces
say,
and then
absolutely, he's on the ground and he goes, "Boys, I think that's enough. Get him then. Avalanche my ass." And that's when the shockwave happens. So you see all like this group of pirates all like readying their weapons to surround you. And yeah, I will get a Constitution save from you and Betty, please.
that's another dirty 20 for me.
Okay. So Argus, you are only going to take 9 points of
Sick.
of thunder damage.
I'm glad one of us is rolling well today.
I'm glad to.
Yeah,
But it'll be
managers.
Another 10.
Oh my god.
Okay. So 18 points, I'm sorry, of thunder damage to you. But all of the other pirates, kind of like the shockwave, like knocks them flat. Like Argus, you take a step back, you see even like Lorelei is like back against the railing. You know, like there's glass that shatters on the bar. There's several glass tankards. There's a mirror behind where Willow was that shatters, and you like the smell of fire and like ash and like the force of the explosion now has everybody running back towards the ships. Like everybody's clamoring to get down the stairs first. There's bells that are ringing. There's absolute panic going on, absolute chaos. And Willa looks over to you and she goes, "Banned, absolutely banned."
To me. It's love band. Absolutely. It was a pleasure to meet you. And we'll just casually walk out.
Okay, so yeah, I think the shockwave like just reaches Clarence and Mochi as you're stepping out of the dimension door, to where it doesn't do damage to you, but like you step out and you're like, "Boy, wasn't that great?" And there's like just like blows your fur back.
That just makes us look more epic.
Yeah.
As we
so
don't
yeah.
look at the explosion.
We don't look at the explosion. We
Did you
absolutely
hear the carnage and the chaos behind it?
I think we don't look at the explosion. I can't
Casual.
stop crying. Okay. I'm gonna cast Sending to Ferdinand Reaver and say the heroes of the Humblewood send their regards. Because that's what we agreed on.
You get back. Let me ask you this, Argus. Did you want that to be a lethal blow?
No.
Your final blow. Okay.
I wanted to be
All right.
embarrassing. No.
So you get back. Oh man. You know what? Fuck you guys.
Fuck you guys.
I'm telling.
Ferdinand says he's gonna tell on us.
Who? The authorities?
Yeah, I guess he's gonna run to the Pirate King and oh no, it's gonna do to us.
That's exactly
Ripper
what we
walks
wanted.
up behind Mochi and Clarence, and just like big arms crossed. He's like almost twice the size of the two of you. Huh.
Hey, buddy.
Oh goddamn, that's pretty good stuff.
Thank you very much.
Oh, shit.
We cool?
Well, okay. Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah. Just gotta wait for Betty and Argus to get back here, and then we can go.
Yep.
I think we send our message.
It's important. It's important to take credit for good work.
Exactly.
You know.
It's important to take credit.
I think this is the first time one of my characters did 990 damage in a single attack action.
Yeah. So how about you don't count the barrels?
It just said there were lots of them.
Who stores that much smoke powder on one boat?
They
I
have
would say
cannons.
It doesn't take 15 barrels of smoke powder for like 6 cannons.
this is an ocean nightmare. We're just making them aware of the situation.
Don't.
What was there, a smoke powder shortage?
nightmare. Well, okay, so I did want to establish a little bit that Ferdinand does use grenades and a musket as well
Yes.
as cannons. I was trying to
Yes.
set him up as more of a Mad Max explosives kind of individual, that
And he-
being the petard on which he is hoisted.
Mhm.
And petards actually were bombs, so hey,
Yeah.
it's topical here.
Yes. The
And then
water-
all of his supply exploded.
Yes.
and his ship.
And his
Betty, I
ship, yeah.
presume that you are fully capable of swimming your way all the way back
I
out?
sure hope so, yeah. Since I don't really need to breathe underwater, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just probably takes her a couple of minutes.
Argus, you and Lorelei?
Yep.
Yeah.
Walking back.
Lorelai's just kind of like trying to keep, like, her legs are shorter than yours, and she's like, I guess I picked the right employer then. That was upsetting. Like all of that.
I'm very upset.
Okay. Do you want a cookie?
Do you have one?
You know, the thing about Lorelei Dust Color is I always have cookies. She just pops out, like, just like hands it to you without looking.
Take it. And eat it. Good.
Sugar cookies make everything better. Okay, you all meet back at the mouth of the cave. Ripper is there waiting for you with the longboat.
Gotta go. I see you.
Argus
You can see the like plumes of fire and smoke. It's like,
Oh yeah,
that's definitely stronger than paint.
right? And I send him a message on behalf of the heroes of the Humblewood, so he knows real well who did it. He said he was gonna tell on us to the king, and I can't fucking wait.
I guess how did your thing go?
Yeah.
It was going well. I was about to get swarmed, but I guess that took priority.
Weird how that works.
Glad we could save you again.
If Betty joins us on the boat, I'll cast a Cure Wounds on Betty, because I'm assuming she looks a little damaged.
Not too bad.
Not too bad. Well, there's a little bit of
singed.
mochi guilt, because I maybe should have told you. We maybe should have waited 6 seconds after we told you to run, instead of doing it at the same time.
She's fine.
So let me just
It's
use
fine.
magic to deal with my guilt, as I do with everything. For 14 points of healing.
Clarence, you hear in the back of your head, very well done, Clarence. That's the type of message to send.
Well, thank you, Cal. I think we can agree on that term.
You get just like a surge of endorphins.
That's so good. That's not a bad sign of anything to come.
Just let a demi-lich conduct your good brain chemicals. You know, just let them be in
Just
charge
let
of
it-
your amygdala.
I
and
mean,
What could go wrong? What
better
could
than
go wrong?
therapy, is it? Is it?
Who needs therapy? Mochi's fine. She's not traumatized, right?
Yeah, neither is Clarence. They didn't-
Exactly.
didn't just make a deal with a demi-lich for her.
Trauma?
Doing
It
okay.
can't be post-traumatic stress disorder if the trauma's still ongoing. It's not post
Exactly.
yet.
Oh.
There's no post yet. I do think at one point Mochi would like turn around to look at the flames engulfing whatever's left of the chip and go, Harlow would have loved that.
Yeah. That's kind of
Yeah.
remind you of the last time.
Yeah.
Beesh.
Oh well. Back to the ship.
Yeah, let's set sail. I think that's what we say, right?
To Halara!
Yeah, no, we got sails. We got sails.
Yeah.
Good, I'm not good at rowing.
And Ripper rows you back in the longboat to your captain awaiting you and your ship ready to disembark. Any last minute things before you all leave Salter's Port and the Humblewood officially?
I look over to Mochi. How many sendings do you have left?
One regular and 2 extra fancy. As in I have to upcast them because I'm running out of 3rd level spell slots.
Gotcha. Could you send a message to
Jasmine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to write it down for me?
yeah, I will. Jasmine, on the way, burning the world behind me to get to you. I will free you from this cage. Love, Argus.
For once, Mochi will behave and send that without additions or substitutions. Even though it hurts her soul. She will add,
Mochi?
you can reply to this message.
Note.
Always the staple.
Look, there's enough words left over and I don't know if she knows how it works.
Mochi. I am assured of few things aside from Argus's wrath and his love. Keep him safe. I will wait as long as I need.
Again, I will repeat that back to Argus verbatim.
If anyone can escape anything, it's her. So we just have to give her the opportunity.
Yeah, we're just gonna give her the distraction.
And like looks back. And more so.
Yeah. This was one ship. Imagine what we can do to a fleet.
I will make that dream a reality.
Wing and claw, Argus, wing and claw.
Wing and claw.
Okay. All right. With that, your captain Atlas Fairweather approaches you all. Well, that plume of smoke you're dealing then.
Yep. Had to send a message.
Message sent. I'm not one for reading smoke signals, but it looks to be a mighty fine middle finger.
Thank you. Clarence and I did real good, and so did Argus and Betty. And now we can go.
He kind of like pulls Ripper down. Keep them away from the smoke powder, please. All right. So, your accommodations have been prepared. Only the finest aboard here, the Pendulum Rose. We shall disembark here post heads. He points to just a sailor. Bert? Bartholomew. I was close. Unfurl the sails and all that. We're going to, is that supposed to be doing that? Anyway, yes, to your quarters. I've done this before. And he, like, hops up the railing, kind of like, you know, how parrots are wont to do. Like, it's half on the steps, half he just, and, you know, stands at the helm. Hoist up the thing. And batten the hatches and whatnot. We're going to sail through a storm. As your ship lurches forward as the sails are unfurled and a mighty wind catches them, you begin to cut through the waves, southward bound, the dark, tremulous storms with thunder and lightning rattling within, looming ahead. This is not going to be a cozy voyage, but has it ever been? And officially, as you lose sight of the Humblewood, the great alder heart itself towering above, as even that is lost to the horizon, your adventure has fully begun as you head towards the Tangle Wilds. It only took us 4 episodes.
5. But the camera zooms out and all you hear is Clarence, who's like,
Hey, Cal, what do you know about wake worms?
cuts to end credits.
I had one as a pet once, actually.
Oh. Enlightening.
His name was Buttons.
Lovely.
That's where we're going to go ahead and end for today. Thank you all for joining us for another wonderful episode of Humblewood. We'll pick up next time a bit of Horizon's Paw. Yeah, I'm very excited for this. So, thank you to this wonderful cast, as always, for bringing their amazing characters and amazing decisions, however chaotic they may be. Thank you to you in the audience for joining us. Your viewership is very much appreciated. If you have ever been willing or able to donate to Fauna and Flora International, it's very much appreciated as well. But at the very least, you know, retweeting viewership, all that is more than I could ever ask for. So very much appreciated. Let's go ahead and go around, have these lovely folks say a little bit about themselves, then we'll do some channel stuff and wrap things up for the day. So, Shadow, if you don't mind starting us out.
Yeah, hi. I'm trying to get out of the Clarence voice. I am Shadow. You can find me ever relevant at Shadow Sylvia. I'm here on Sundays and also Tuesdays for Gate Night, where we do Gate Night stuff. And you'll probably see me in one of the scary October games that we have coming up. It's gonna be a good vibe. Otherwise, I'm over on Roll D5. We play indie TTRPGs. If you want to see them, come join us. This Wednesday, we're actually doing a game of Arc Doom for Filipino American History Month. And we're going to be raising money for A Fire Chicago. So come join us then. We have a really great cast.
That sounds amazing. I'm very excited for that. And yeah, Shadow, you absolutely are cast in one of those games. We'll talk about it here shortly here with our October charity month. But before we get to that, next up, Liz.
Hi, friends. I'm Liz. I have been Betty, your barbarian, who did not do a whole lot of barbarianing this time around, which was kind of nice. I'm here every Sunday, so that's pretty cool. And I also believe that I will be in one of the spooky Halloween games. So I'll let somebody else who knows more about it talk about it when we get there. But I'm currently working on a new game about kissing or potentially killing the fairy king. It's all up to you, whatever you want. You know, that's how those games work. But keep an eye on that. It'll be coming soon.
Very excited for that. Please check out all of Liz's games at the itch.io that you can see and chat there. Next up, Anniek.
Hi, I'm Anniek. I am also always here on Sundays. even when there's no Humblewood, because then this is my horror time slot, even though I sometimes try not to do horror, but they still call me sinister, so at this point I just have to embrace what I am. Which I'm also going to do on October 18th, which is part of the horror month, where I'll be running a hack of our woodland gods with some adorable little cultists whose god died, and now they have to go find a new god because you can't be a cultist without a god. And Liz is one of my absolutely wonderful players and is being joined by 3 other very fun people. So join us for that as well. And everything else, I mean, schedules and planning and timing. After Humblewood, which is going to be an extended run because we're us. After this extended Humblewood Season 2, I will get to do more Mothership and a Tales from the Loop game. So some point in 2025, look for casting calls. Because at this rate, like 5 episodes to get on the boat, 10 to get to the king. 2025. Casting calls, everything through Sword and Key socials, because technology scares me.
It scares us all. Last but absolutely not least, Christian.
Hey everybody, hi, my name is Christian, aka Fluffy Goomba, all over the internet. I'm a teacher, RPG performer, educator, and event coordinator here in the space. I have been your resident shit starter, Argus Ironclaw. And speaking of spooky stuff, if you do want to see some spooky stuff from me, I have 2 projects. Every Thursday, or as many Thursdays as possible, I am on a Vampire the Masquerade game called Darkness Over New Orleans. And if you are looking for more cosmic / Cthulhian horrors, I was in a show from Queen's Court Games called Harlem Hellfighters Never Die. It is based on the Harlem Unbound setting, and it recently just won some awards for Minnesota's Webfest for best video AP series and best representation of POC in a project. So cool. That's one, and they're both very good projects. I'm very proud of being a part of. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, definitely check those out. It's the month for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Hi everybody. I'm Derek Sword. I've been your GM for this game and many games here on Sword and Key. I am the sword half of Sword and Key. You can find my stuff if you want to at dsword16 on most socials. I should note that Sorta is my last name. Yes, it's awesome that you can't have it, and I do use he, him pronouns. But when I'm talking about socials and everything like that, I recommend you check out Sword and Key stuff more than my stuff, because most of what I do, if I even remember, is retweeting Sword and Key stuff. So you can find all of Sword and Key stuff at beacons.ai/Sword and Key, all one word. Our socials, Instagram, Blue Sky, and Twitter have underscores between the words, so sword underscore and underscore key for all 3. You can also find our Discord link. We are doing some fun stuff over in our Discord. Typically every other week, we do a movie night. We're actually doing movie nights every Friday throughout this month. We're doing double features that are themed with some scary movies. So if you want to be a part of that, you're more than welcome if you are part of our Discord. And you're more than welcome to join our community over in our Discord. It's great folks talking about cool stuff. Games, you can chat about games like this. You can chat about other games, video games, pets, lots of really cool stuff. You also, as Anniek was saying, get first dibs at any applications that go out for future games. So if you are looking to ever, join us here on screen with Sword and Key, that's the first and best place to see stuff first. We always post it social media second. Looking at the month of October, which is a busy month because we are raising money for National Alliance for Mental Illness, NAMI, throughout the month of October with a variety of one-shots, some of which have already been mentioned, and a few others that haven't. So looking at today, the 6th, I'm going to try to get our newest episode of Monster Crush out. That's the other thing that's happening besides Humblewood today. Monster Crush is a podcast that I record with my friend LD. We talk about different cryptids, creatures, miscellaneous monsters from mythology and how smoochable they are. If you are a monster fan, especially during this month of October, we've got a really cool episode with an unholy trinity of werewolves, vampires, and undead coming out either today or tomorrow. And we're going to be doing a Dracula episode, as it is episode 90 coming up next, which we will release around the 20th. So check that out wherever podcasts are found. It is a Sword and Key production. Next up on Tuesday, as Shadow mentioned, is Gate Night. It's where LD, Shadow, and I play Baldur's Gate 3, the only video game currently streamed here on Sword and Key. That's 6:30 p.m. Pacific time on Tuesdays. On Thursdays, Zenith plays. That's 4:30 p.m. Pacific time on all Thursdays. Zenith is a 5e campaign run by one of my favorite GMs, Alex, and is like big city, like magisterium kind of like magical apprentices, and also like backstabbing politicians and cutthroats and everything that where reputation and power are what make you a person. Those help you survive in this massive city where there's monsters beneath the streets just waiting to drag you beneath. It's a very cool concept. It's a very great game with a fantastic cast. As I mentioned, Sword and Key movie nights are happening every Friday with double features. The next one coming up is femme-led art house horror, so we are doing It Follows and Midsummer. On the 12th is our first official October one-shot. That's Slayers, made by Gila RPG, Spencer Campbell. It is a really cool game that is based around every class playing the game completely differently. It's the rule of four. What do you call it? It's asymmetrical rule of four. So I've got a great cast for that. I will be running that game. After that, which is at 10 a.m. Pacific time, at 3 p.m. Pacific time, is the Return of Horizon's Call, our nautical 5e game. They are on the elemental plane of fire aboard a ship in the Sea of Fire. So, we're keeping the theme, just kind of changing the element there. Horizon's Call will play every Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific time until we're coming up on a season finale here soon. Next up, Humblewood Younderbound will be playing every Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific time until we hit our logical conclusion as well. But also on the 13th is the first part of A Night of Fright Part 2 at 3 p.m. Pacific time. That's our 5e Scooby-Doo game. This is The Lich's Ghost, which is a module I'll be running. We're doing that on the 13th and the 20th. And then as the 14th, and playing every Monday after that, is Journey to Book's End. It is a cipher game run by Mare, 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. Fantastic cast for that as well. They're fairy tale characters that are trying to find their way back to their home books. Otherwise, on the 16th at 4 p.m. Pacific time, we have Call of Cthulhu. It's Call of Cthulhu, but everybody has cats. That's being run by Wild and is part of our October Charity Month, 4 p.m. Pacific time. On the 18th, Anniek is going to be running that 10 a.m. Pacific time our Woodland Gods hack one shot. And then we have on the 26th a 10 a.m. Monster of the Week, A Night in the Museum. It is a one shot that I will be running. And then the last thing for the month will be on the 27th, where LD will be running Step Flaming Preps, a one shot game that she created as a honey heist hack based on the Harry Potter Gothic fanfic My Immortal. If none of those words made any sense to you, that's okay. If they made way too much sense to you, I'm sorry. But it's going to be a great game. It's like early 2000s Hot Topic based Harry Potter vampire fanfic that's now infamous in fanfic lore. So check it out. That is it for the month of October. We're probably going to continue with the typical stuff like Gate Night, like Journey to Book's End, like Zenith, our Horizon's Call into November, but otherwise November is going to be relatively quieter. So stick around with us. We've got some cool stuff planned for the month. Again, we have some great causes that we're supporting in addition to the NAMI, National Alliance for Mental Illness. Zenith is raising money for PCRF, Palestine Children's Relief Fund. We're always raising money for Canine Companions for Independence. Humblewood is always raising money for Fauna and Flora International. So we've got some cool stuff out there. I think that is it. We are going to be raiding the Misadventurers League as one of our friends over there, Anna or Riley, who has been featured on our channel before, is playing. They're playing Vampire the Masquerade, so it's a perfect game for this season. So spread some love over there. Show some positivity. Take care of yourselves in the meantime as well. And as always, remember the Humblewood motto: no body, no crime, no drama. Take care of yourselves.